Hi, welcome back, Backstage Chatter fans. It's me, your host, Jackie Hardy. In this segment, I got the honor and privilege of speaking with the multi-talented and Houston native Toussaint Jeanlouis, where he speaks with us about his many roles in the Tony Award-winning play Life of Pi. Life of Pi, presented by Broadway Dallas and Performing Arts Fort Worth, is in our fair city in the Dallas area starting now until August 17th, and it will be showing at the Winspear Opera House. For our audience members in the Fort Worth area, you can see Life of Pi at the Bass Performance Hall from September 23rd through September 28th. You can head over to BroadwayDallas.org or BassHall.com for ticket and showtime information. Hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, or share this YouTube channel. And thanks for watching. So thank you so much, Toussaint. Yes,
Yes,
for
yes.
being a part of Backstage Chatter segment. This is our entertainment segment, and so we're so happy to have you. Yeah, because I know you're in the throes of during your national Broadway tour, and so for you to spend get up and spend this time with us, we really appreciate that, Toussaint. And I do want to, first of all, just kind of let our audience goers get to know you a little bit with respect to your background, because you hail from Houston, is that correct?
That is true.
H-Town?
I'm in my home state finally, so I'm
I
so happy
know,
to be
right?
home.
That's right. Are you going to have family that'll be able to come in and see you?
There's family coming to the Dallas. There's Dallas Fort Worth. They'll be there as well, and then of course Houston. So I'm
Okay.
really great to be back home and be filled with that love. So
Absolutely. I know that's right. That is awesome. That is so awesome. And I know they're going to be proud in that stage.
yeah,
And then I know your academic resume, you went to Arizona State, right?
yes,
And California Institute of Arts. Impressive. So
yes.
I would love for you to kind of share with our audience goers, when did your love affair for or affinity for the arts begin? Because I think I read like it was around middle school
It,
time
I
frame.
mean, I started with music. So I
Music.
guess
Okay.
that's entertainment within the industry. But I started with music in sixth grade.
Okay.
Started playing the bassoon, and I was also doing martial arts, which was also very performative. It was taekwondo,
Okay.
and then I was doing basketball. I was doing a lot of different activities in high
Yeah.
school. And then my sophomore year of high school, I did Guys and Dolls, and I got to play Benny South Street. That was my first musical, first introduction to singing period and singing live at that. And that's
Wow.
kind of when the bug bit.
Bit.
There was a student matinee that we had on one of the days. And after the show, our director asked us to come out into the lobby in our full costume. And the way the kids' eyes lit up, I was just like, if this is the effect that I can have in the community, then absolutely. And I think as a young Black child, I also wanted to
Mhm.
see more Black representation on
Yeah.
television that was positive, and that
Mhm.
um, my only hope was that I could one day be that.
One of the things that I was interested in, I will say, because when you hear Life of Pi, you automatically think movie and you think, how
Right.
does that translate to stage? And if you could kind of speak to that, it is seriously an immersive experience to song because
Yes.
I felt like I was in the boat. Like everything I thought you were real tight or like it is so
Right.
immersive. So can you kind of explain, yeah, how it does do a great job of translating from screen to stage?
I think the designers, that's the one group that you definitely have to give credit to. I mean, the projections that are fully over the entire stage, on the stage floor, on the back walls, on the side walls. That's like the number one for me because that really brings you into the world. And even, I mean, I know the audience can't see it, but from the stage, sometimes if you look out, you can see like the little stars on top of the audience's faces.
Mm.
So it really does make it a full immersive experience in that way. And I think just there's this uh, grandiose design and this way of really breathing life into the puppets. I think, like as you said, it's you thought it was like a real tiger, and I think that is our as a puppeteer, that's one of our biggest goals is that at some point you don't see us, and you do really see these animals breathing. We do make the sounds live, and
Wow.
that was like fun, just learning how to how does a hyena make a sound, how does an orangutan make a sound, and
Sure.
I was gonna say it takes a lot, but it really is a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
think it's one of those things where you can I feel like I'm playing every time I get to do this.
In getting into your roles, because you listen, and I say roles plural because I know
Right.
you like the cook. You play, of course, the tiger, Richard Parker, and then ensemble cast, and then fight captain. Like I'm
Yes.
exhausted
Yeah. Yeah.
just saying it. So my
I
question,
mean,
yeah,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's, I think what makes it easier is that it
Okay.
is such a phenomenal cast and it's a great group of people. I think the story has really like made us a little bit tight knit of a family,
Sure.
and you know, Taha, who also plays the
Yeah.
pie, he just the way in which he gives to us as puppeteers because he's not talking to us. He's literally looking at the puppet in their eyes, having a whole conversation. And I think those types of relationships that we built has really been the power of what we're able to give is that we're always there for one another. I can't, even as the tiger, I play the tiger head. And then there's two people, there's the tiger heart and the tiger hind that are also in line with
Right.
what I'm doing. And I couldn't do it without them.
Right.
Um, and that goes for any like the zebra, the orangutan.
It's a team
There's yeah,
collaboration.
there's it's always connected.
Yes.
So I think that's what I think lends to making this such a powerful and connected piece, is because again we are a team. We can't do
Yeah,
it without the other.
absolutely. No, you're bearing the shoulders together, arm
Yes.
in arm. Yeah, I love that, man. And and certainly sometimes it gets the reputation, I think, in the, acting world that it can be cutthroat or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's really like a family environment. And I love that. That makes you do want to, show up and say, I can do this because I'm not
Yes.
doing it alone. Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. And I guess to kind of also to speak to what you were leading towards was, well, I would say yes, I could be exhausted, but again, there are these things, these moments of joy. Even though the show is choreographed, that we, 9 months on the road, there are still new things that we find. And I remember in the beginning, it was the fish. I didn't know, we were in a rehearsal room in a studio in New York City. There were no projections, no lights. And then as soon as we got to Baltimore, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, there's these fish right under the boat and I'm
Right.
playing tiger. So I'm like, I'm hungry. Let me go for this.
Yeah.
There's those little moments or either maybe the pacing changes one night and then we find something new
Yeah.
between the relationship that we have with the
Sure.
with Pi.
With of the roles that you have, is there one that just naturally is kind of, kind of, you know what I'm saying, effortless for you? And then which one kind of stretches you and gets you out of your comfort zone? Yeah.
I mean, I'll speak to the two main roles that I have. Tiger was my initial start, and the thing about the tiger for me is that it's the first time that I feel like I've been able to fully engage myself in a role. And
Ooh.
it's not a speaking role. This is the first puppeteering job that I've ever had. So I learned a lot within that first month, and every show since then it's always been tweaking, readjusting, learning something new. But vocally, to really get that growl and that roar and to find the pace and the presence of the tiger, it's like the first time that I've been able to fully be in my body. And I
Wow.
think that there's that correlation that I have of, being in this body that can be scary to other people, but like I'm actually pretty gentle.
Yeah.
I don't need to be bothered. I don't have to bother anybody. Um, and there's just this way in which I think it's helped me to ground myself.
Hmm.
Um, and then there's the cook who is, you know, I can be hungry, but I'm never gonna like try to take from somebody else or take someone else's
Life.
life, basically.
Right. Yeah.
But he's also cook is very fun for me too because I like to say villains can be misunderstood,
Yeah.
and as a performer, it's the challenge is sometimes finding the empathy or finding the like
Humanity.
the humanity in that human.
Yeah.
And so that's why I find it fun and challenging because it's like, well, I don't really necessarily think what is the audience going to think of the cook tonight.
Mm.
It's more like, well, what relationship are we having on stage? And am I conveying that in this moment he's just hungry and they're all desperate and lost at sea?
Wow.
Um,
Sure.
but yeah, he has an attitude.
Right. Yeah.
he
Sure.
has a very clear like.
Absolutely.
So
No, he
it's
is the villain to some
he's the
degree. Yeah,
villain,
yeah, that's right. But that's what
but
makes a good story. You have to have the
yeah,
have that
and the
integrity.
hyena for that role, I remember learning that, and I was like, I don't think I need to go to the gym much more. I mean, the tiger is already a feat to carry, but then the hyena is like a cardio workout
Wow.
every time, and I would think by now I'd be conditioned to it, but it's again, there's those little small nuances. Things change on the boat. Some things are different every now and then, but you're thinking on the fly and making sure you stay within this time frame.
Mm.
But that may be what makes it the most challenge. That's also in addition to the challenge it is to play the cook role is because the hyena is so fast and so, up and bouncy and there's the hyena laugh. And so it's trying to do all of these fun things while trying to breathe and give sound. But
Absolutely.
I love both roles.
Wow. With respect to the story, of course, of Life of Pi, I felt like for me personally, because that's what I love about theater. Everybody takes something different from it. And so I would love for you to kind of speak to maybe a take that I brought from it. I feel like there's always this eternal struggle of what we perceive and what is truth, and we kind of filter that through our own beliefs. And so, yeah, can you kind of speak to that? Do you feel like that could be one of the, you know,
Definitely. I mean,
yeah,
there, like you said,
undertones?
there are there's
It
multiple things
is.
anybody can take from this.
Okay.
And that idea of duality of truth. But
Mm,
what I used to say, it's still some, and I still agree with this, is that it's how do you get through?
wow.
When you've had an extremely traumatic experience, you could definitely tell yourself the truth and it could be horrible. But how do you find the
Mm,
words, the affirmations, the positivity, the joy in life to get through to the next moment?
absolutely.
And I think this is something that this play reminds me of, especially in the times that we're in right now, where I could be worried about my friends being deported or
Mm,
worried about the economy, tariffs, all
mm.
of these things, which are kind of mentioned in the show. And when we first started this, that wasn't
That's
like
right.
part
And
of the conversation.
that's right.
But as we've continued, it's like, oh, Baba, the father, is talking about leaving Pondicherry, India,
Yeah.
because
His
of the
home,
political,
because he didn't. Yeah.
the chaos that's happening.
Exactly.
And then I think about Pi being lost at sea, and it's for me that part sometimes is personal. I mean, it is personal.
Mm,
But the idea of losing family members
mm,
and having to, really redefine who I am,
mm.
um, and try to rebuild because it is like you lose a piece of yourself and then you're just floating out to sea. Storms come, you try to grip onto something, but it's not what you need to survive. So you got to reestablish another foundation to be on top of, and you pray
Yeah.
that you make it to land. And
Absolutely.
even then, you make it to land, and you still don't know whether you're safe or not. But you have to know that if you can survive
Yeah.
all of that time
That's right.
and still be able to be kind, polite, respectful, you
Absolutely.
probably made it further than most people ever will.
That's exactly
So
right. Yeah, no, that is so so true. And tis life, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's always that struggle and
Yes,
yeah, and hopeless situations that come up and it's a test of do we really believe what we say we believe,
right,
in the face of adversity. I
right.
love, I love that. It is powerful. It is so powerful and it's so many layers, yeah, to
But,
the story. Yeah. Are there other things that stick out to you that you would
I
love to
mean,
share with our audience?
faith, spirituality, and religion.
Yeah.
Pi is a young boy, 17 at the start of the play, and he is trying to figure out, what is God?
Mm,
Why is there so much pain and suffering in the world if God is there or if
good.
a higher power is there? And, these are kind of his beginning questions that I think for anyone who's again searching for spirituality, searching for faith or religion, it's like those are those questions that kind of come back. You're like, well, why am I going through this again? Or
Right.
why is so and so having so much trouble? And there's the three religious leaders that speak to him
Yeah.
after the incident with Buckingham, the goat, and it's but even this boy cares about animals.
Right.
He sees the spirit of animals and their value to him and to society. That we're definitely interconnected.
Sure.
Um, so yes, faith, spirituality,
Yeah.
religion.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's and family.
Yeah.
And I hope that for any audience member that comes to see this is that you will be talking about it for
Yeah.
a long time because you're just gonna it's a full meal and then some dessert, you know?
I said the same thing.
So
It is.
you're
It's
gonna
the
have
seven
to
course meal, baby.
like
It is. I
you're gonna
agree.
be digging for a little bit. And
Yeah, you are.
if you just walk away with the 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 magnitude of what you already see, there's gems in that whole piece throughout.
Yeah.
And I luckily have had the opportunity of watching it in the audience, but I've also when I have like a my little one rest track, I've watched it backstage, and I think there was a time when I was just like I'm in this. Like
I know, right?
this is
Pinching
what's happening
yourself.
right now. Like
Yeah.
whoa.
Is this
Um,
real?
because it's really beautiful. I mean, there's one moment that I remember that I kind of teared up about was the stars
Yeah.
and the boat is kind of turning, and um, the one line that I can kind of that's screaming out to me is I'm still here, we're still here,
Mm,
that Pi says, and it's that was the moment that I kind of like was
yeah.
like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
doing this.
My last question. I could talk to you for another 30 minutes, but I know you gotta get on. But we are a minority owned, proudly operated news organization and publication. And I would just love for you to speak. You kind of touched on it too earlier, Toussaint, about just being a person of color and just being a part of even this special production Life of Pi and how this is like just another step in breaking barriers, right? And you being a part of body of work that can inspire the next generation, because I even see similarities in Pi and in us as an African American, the struggle, right? He had fears, foes, and finite resources and opportunities. And I would just love if you would end on that and just speaking to that next generation on what it means to be a part of that. Yeah, you're bringing hope in that.
It's exactly what you said. Is this cast is beautiful, and it's phenomenal to be a part of this. And I think as an African American who has witnessed the struggle it is to be in this industry, but also in society,
Yeah.
and to seeing this family from um, Pondicherry, India, I mean, it's a joy to be witness to it. It's a joy to be a part of it. And I think what I hope people can see is that we all have stories. We all have shared experiences, no matter the color of our skin. But at the same time, like when we can come together and really come together and build um, something of this magnitude,
Mm,
there's nothing that can really stop us, And when we're all talking about faith and how do we get through to the next moment? How do we make it from one show to the next after,
mm,
sweating it out one night and then, getting back up the next day and going back and telling that story because we know it's important. We know that it's needed right now. I think, there's so many nuanced themes and conversations that happen
mm.
that are necessary.
Yeah,
And if we don't show up to do it,
yeah,
who will?
that's good.
So I'm like I mean that's I'm
Onus
really
is on
proud.
us. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I love
So
that. I almost feel like this is a play you got to see again because it's such a sensory overload of
yeah,
like a visual brilliance and acting and yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean we're here for 2 weeks. So
That's right.
if anybody wants they come this week, come next week,
Come
and you'll find
on.
the different things that you
That's
saw the
right.
first time or didn't see. So
That's right. You heard that from Toussaint. You better come. Thank you so
thank
much.
you. Thank you very
Take
much.
care and
You
breaking.
too. Bye
Okay.
bye.
Bye. Wow, if that doesn't get you excited about seeing the life of Pi, am I right? After our incredible interview with again the multi-talented Toussaint Jeanlouis. Remember, you can see Life of Pi presented by Broadway Dallas and Performing Arts Fort Worth in our fair cities in the Dallas area from now until August 17th at the Winspear Opera House. Or in the Fort Worth area, you can see it at the Bass Performance Hall from September 23rd through September 28th. Just head over to BroadwayDallas.org or BassHall.com for showtimes and ticket information. And don't forget to like, subscribe, or share our YouTube channel, and I'll see you at the theater. Thanks for watching.